India is suspending tourist visas for a month due to COVID-19. Now, the move drastically limits the number of foreigners who will be able to visit the country.
Diplomatic visas and entry for international organizations, employment and projects are exempt. But millions of foreign nationals of Indian descent who are traditionally granted visa-free access will now have to apply.
The new measures will take effect from tomorrow evening. Nearly 70 infections have been reported in India. Ishan Garg is in New Delhi and he joins us now. Ishan, the Health Ministry's statement means that barring entry of visitors to the country, it's going to be a month of that. Why such a drastic move?
Well, first of all, the move is because of we saw an uptick in the number of coronavirus cases just a few days ago, and they went up drastically. I mean, in India, just 2 weeks ago, there were 3 confirmed cases, then it got to 5, and suddenly overnight, the cases went from 17 to 21, and now to over 70. And the Indian government seems to think that most of these cases are because of the people who have been traveling abroad, particularly to Italy. There was a span in the middle of the last few weeks where we saw this great uptick because of a number of Italian tourists who had come in and who tested positive for coronavirus. But apart from this, there is a sense in the Indian government, with the current scenario in India, with the economy not doing so well and a number of protests around the domestic issues in India, there is onus on the Indian government to show that it's ready and it's prepared to tackle the coronavirus. It's trying to show the Indian people by taking steps like these that it's on top of the situation and it's got what it takes to tackle an international crisis like this.
Is the government taking any other action within the country to contain the spread of the virus?
Well, the first line of defense for the Indian government seems to be the screening system that it has installed on its major ports of entry. So, for example, it's screening all international travelers, or rather was or screening all international travelers at 21 major international airports and 90 major seaports. But apart from that, Indian government has pumped in a lot of money to set up new labs which can test coronavirus samples. Apart from this, there is also a massive public outreach program led by the Prime Minister himself. As you would know, a couple of days ago was the Indian Festival of Holi, which is usually celebrated in very large gatherings. The Indian Prime Minister reached out to the Indian public and urged that people do not participate in large public gatherings. Apart from this, a number of states have also been tasked with equipping their doctors and hospitals with the latest knowledge of how to tackle coronavirus, and also with the facilities to quarantine as many people as they can when and if the cases arise.
Okay, many thanks for that. Ishan Garg speaking to us from New Delhi.